August 16th trash hauls. Let's start with this. This fan just needs to be serviced. I think it's a 3-speed. The 2-speed, you hear the motor trying to turn. 3rd speed apparently works perfectly fine. I suspect it just needs to be cleaned out. There's probably a bunch of hair in it because of that. So we might be able to save this thing and make it work a little bit better. So it works, pushes a good amount of air. I'm gonna keep it for out here in the shop. Never have too many of these. And the rest of the load this morning, found another mower. It's in kind of a state of disrepair, but the guy was out there and he said that it ran, has good compression. So we'll get this thing unloaded here in a minute. Found a Bissell Power Groom Helix Rewind. Thought this thing was junk at first. It might still be because the cord was pulled all the way out. So I figured that the internal spring was all messed up, but apparently it still works because it retracted when I pressed the button. So get this thing triaged, see if it's worth it or not. Found an Oric. Always pick these up. Generally, they're worth fixing. I did pull the inner bag out of it and left it at the curb. Found a Toro bag with this mower. Guy said that bag was for this mower. I knew it wasn't, but I took it anyways for the frame. And then found a Bissell stick vac without the cord, of course. Thing looks pretty well beat up. I think it's just about done for. So did a quick trash run last night, found this mower. I almost didn't pick it up, but the way things are nowadays with, as I've mentioned many times before on this channel, these things are banned for buying. You can't buy new ones anymore. They outlawed them in the state, so it's pretty much all electric if you want a new lawnmower. So mowers that I normally would not have picked up over the years, I've started to pick them up. And I don't know if it's just people are holding on to mowers that are in nicer condition now, but so far the past 6-7 lawnmowers I've picked up have all been somewhat junky, missing parts, just abused and beaten. But it's good video fodder for you guys that watch my videos. So hopefully you'll get some videos on some of these mowers if they're worth fixing or not. But this morning I scored a good amount of junk. There's more stuff in the cab. So we're gonna go ahead and get this unloaded and I'll show you guys what I found. All right, so here is the haul for this part of the video. I found a PS4 with most of the wires. And unfortunately, it's weird because there was the normal power cord there, but a tweaker or scavenger cut the end off and took the copper, but they left the PlayStation, which, you know, these things are worth a little bit of money. This is junk. I'm not going to save this because of that, so we'll get rid of that. But most likely this thing still works. It's just they probably got a PS5, so they threw the PS4 away. And this is one of the later model PS4s, if I remember correctly. So maybe it's got a game in it, but we'll power it on, get back to the house, and see if it works or not. Well, the PS4 works fine. At least I haven't tried any games on it. I don't have any games to try on it. Maybe I can download some. Anyways, not worth a whole lot. They only sell for like 90 bucks on eBay. With both the controllers, maybe I'd get 100, 110 for it, who knows. Also found a Utilitech fan. It's not locked up, the blades spin, so we'll see if that thing works or not. Found some string trimmer line, always pick that up when I see it. No matter how the packaging looks or not, that stuff doesn't necessarily go bad. If it does age enough, it will start breaking very quickly, so if it's trash, it's trash. Found a blower, it's got compression. I've done a few videos on these over the years. This one looks like it was left outside, a little bit of rust on it. So we'll see if it's worth getting it going again. Found another one of these Hunter outdoor stand fans, and this one, the blades are not locked up. Don't know if it works yet or not. So we'll have to get that sorted out and checked. The two lawnmowers, best I can tell, both have compression, both need work. There will be videos done on these at some point. An Orec vacuum, don't know if I had this in the last clip, but here it is. I did take the inner bag out of it and left that at the curb. Tweakers cut the cord off, but they thankfully left me the second part of the cord, so should be able to get that one working again. Picture frame, I always pick these up. Picture frames are expensive, especially ones like this. This one just needs to be cleaned up with some Windex, and I've already got a use for it with some photos I have that need to be framed, so we'll hold on to that for sure. Found this Eureka Power Speed. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. It says it works, but what I mean by wrong with it is structurally. These cheap vacuums, they do not handle abuse very well, and unfortunately it does not take much to break them. This one appears to be in decent shape, so we'll see what's going on with it. Hopefully it's just clogged. And I didn't even check the belt. Feels like there's tension on the brush roll, so it's probably fine. They probably got rid of it because, you know, you could buy way better vacuums than this. These things aren't that great, but this will make a great donation unit, provided there's nothing really too serious wrong with it. Found a trash can, just need to throw some soap in that and clean it out. It's in really good shape. Don't know why they threw that away. I found what appears to be a education board or something for, you know, some sort of city college AC class. This is old for R12, but I only picked it up for this. You know, could probably make a fan out of this and put it on, you know, a mount or something and put a switch on it. I've done that in the past, and check out my prior videos on that. But that receiver dryer, that's going to go in the trash. I might keep the board that it's on just because that's good sheet metal. So we'll see. And then I found this Kenmore 200 series canister vacuum. I normally do not pick these up. This one, I only picked it up because it looked like it was relatively new. I do not like these. These are, out of all the canister vacuums that have been made, I am not a fan of these things. In my opinion, they're one of the worst vacuums ever made, and I know that'll trigger some people, but who cares? They're just really poorly made and constructed. I've never cared for these things, but you guys might get a video on this if it's worth fixing, and this will most likely be a donation unit. But it's probably a 2021, so it's, you know, 4 years old or so. That's the model number. This is all that was included with it, and I didn't even check. I guess it would not have the attachments on it because these are a little bit different. Because the bag is under here, no attachments in the hood here, and then these did have an attachment that I didn't even check that. Maybe that's why it was thrown away. I stand corrected. I guess that does go there. So there's no other place for this to have attachments on it. This does not lift up or anything. So we'll see what's going on with this, if it's worth fixing. I also noticed that it's got some stress fractures here, and they tried to rip it off the back of the machine, so, you know. So very quickly for this video, I did test all of this stuff. And of course this one is dead on arrival. So, oh well, can't win them all, I guess. The two fans, neither one of those power on. And it looks like somebody started taking this one apart because you can kind of see it's all cockeyed in there. And then this vacuum is trash. The wheels are both wallowed out. They go into this. There's no axles or anything, so it's just normal usage is what killed it. This thing is literally falling apart in front of me as I've been, you know, messing with it earlier. It's junk, so we'll put it out of its misery and then scrap it. Monday, August 18th, surprisingly I found a lawnmower with the bag. Another few small decent items. Let's get them unloaded. So I guess we can start with the mower. It definitely needs a carb cleaning, and typical, it's got the busted front axle here. I'm not sure what exactly is broken, but they've got this kind of bow jack fix for it, which I guess it works. But typically what breaks off in here is a piece that goes from end to end, and it just, yeah, I've replaced a lot of these, and I think I've got a good one in the Horde that we can stick on there. So we'll probably do that. But I gotta say, I do kind of like this fix that they did. It'll probably last a lot longer than just replacing it with a used one. But listen to this. Sure enough, can't complain with that. Thing runs, doesn't smoke. It's not going to need much carb cleaning, and then spray it off with the pressure washer, and this thing will be an easy flip. I may or may not leave it like that up there in the front. Might not be that big of a deal. The blade, I looked at it, and it's actually in decent shape. It does need to be sharpened, so that's an easy thing to do. But this machine should be a quick turnaround. The rest of this stuff, I found some galvanized pipes, so that'll be good to have around here. This Black & Decker grass hog weed trimmer. Didn't pick this up to fix it. I picked it up to probably try and do a motor burn on it, so we'll see how that goes. This Works trimmer works. I've already stuck a battery in it, and I ended up taking the cap and the line off of the one I've got in my garage at the house and put it on this one. And I think the guy just broke the cap off or something, so he just threw the whole thing away. Works perfectly fine. Not sure why he did that and just didn't buy a new cap. They're really cheap. And then I found this. These things are junk. Through and through, these are junk. I don't know how many videos on YouTube there are of these, but I am going to clean this thing up. We'll see how much it's worth on eBay. If it's worth some money on eBay, I'll probably make it look a little bit better than it is. But it has all this stuff with it, including the user manual. I can't imagine that this thing is listed in much better shape than this on eBay for more than $20 or $30 before shipping. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with this. I will say that these things were designed to fail from the factory. This is the only filter this thing was given, and it's not even really a filter. It's just a, I don't know what you would call that. I mean, it's obviously foam, but it's just real, it feels really weird. So not really too sure what I'm going to do with this just yet. So I just got back from another trash haul. Found a few vacuums, a total of 4, plus a bowling ball. I'll get to that in a minute. So unfortunately, this DC-23, I thought it was in better shape when I picked it up this morning. The light wasn't all that great, but it's a little too far gone for my liking. It does turn on, but the cord rewind does not work. You press this down, it stays down, so the cord will just want to shoot back in. It's also missing this. When I turned it on, it has suction at the hose. I've not checked to see if there's a clog through the rest of it, but it did not want to spin the turbine. Probably going to destroy this one. It is pretty worn out. Anyways, of course, it came with a full dirt bin. So we'll give this thing a proper send off, one way or the other. Same with this Shark. The Shark works, but it's been left outside for who knows how long. The bin's broken. The only thing that's good on it that's worth saving is the cord. So of course I'll pull that off. But the rest of this, it's junk. The tubing's all yellowed and nasty. I'm honestly surprised it even turns on, but we'll send this one off too. And these two both turn on as well. They're likely clogged. They seem to be in decent shape. This one's a 2023, this one's a 2021. Both have the cords, and I believe both have the attachments, which is like super rare, to be honest. So y'all can see that. This one I thought didn't have the cord on it at first. I thought the scavengers had cut it off, but it's got a rewind. And yeah, kind of lucked out with that one. So we'll get these things triaged, minus those two. Pretty sure they're done for, and go from there. We know that thing doesn't work, and we know that this is a, I don't know how much this weighs, 20-pound bowling ball maybe? Not sure. Anyways, y'all can probably see where I'm going to be going with this. I figured since I scrap so many of these vacuums, I might as well have some fun with them while I do that process. This thing isn't worth saving. It doesn't turn on. So maybe we can do something like that. Freak the dog out. Pretty quick and simple trash run today. Didn't really find much. Found a no name. I mean, it's got a name on it, but it's got the most generic name. It's one of these Amazon junky stick vacs. These things are trash. I don't know why people buy these other than the fact that they just don't know better. But we're going to clear the clog out of this, do a review on it. It's still got a charge. I don't think I have a charger that'll fit this, but I'll check and see if I do. Found a Shark rotator, which I think is pretty much done for. I only picked this up because it was slightly interesting with this handle here, but this will probably, well, I mean, it's probably going to be a destruction vac, but we'll see. I don't even know how old this thing is. 2017. It's about 8 years old. So yeah, we'll have a look at this and see if it's worth messing with or not. I don't think it's going to be. I think we're just going to destroy it. This goes to a Eureka Mighty Mite, and I guess that's why it was thrown away. I might be able to fix that though. So in case I ever find a Mighty Mite, I've got the tools for it. And of course I found one of these, which I had to pick this up. So we'll get this thing triaged. Probably needs a new brush roll, but that's not a big deal. Crosswave Premier. I don't know what makes it Premier, because it's about the same build quality as the other one that I had. Not as good as the Sanitaire I've got, but we'll see what's going on with this, see if we can fix it up. Looks like there's a bunch of junk inside, so we'll see what we can do.